Hi, welcome to this video looking at the AQA GCSE Maths topic tests, and it's for the foundation tier, and it's looking at the section called number. Okay, so this is aimed at GCSE students for the foundation tier, but it's also appropriate for Key Stage 3 students and possibly even Key Stage 2 students, okay, and also bridging the gap between your GCSEs and A-levels, okay, so students doing A-level maths. Next year, this will also be appropriate because it's revising all of your techniques for addition, subtraction, timesing, dividing, fractions, percentage, decimals, okay, ordering numbers, etc., etc. Okay, as ever guys, please feel free to pause the video, have a go at all the questions, so attempt all the questions and then press play when you're ready. Okay, question number 1, work out the following. Part A, 184 plus 139. So this is what I'm going to do, column addition, putting everything in the correct place value. Okay, 4 plus 9 is 13, so 3, carry the 1, 8 plus 3 is 11, plus the 1 is 12, okay, carry that 1, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, okay, plus this extra 1 here. So the answer is 323, guys. Okay. Part B, 362 subtract 207. Okay, again, making sure that we put everything under the correct place value, okay, or values. So the hundreds column go together, the tens column go together, and the units column go together, or the ones column. 2 take away 7 I can't do, so I have to borrow. Okay, that becomes a 5, that becomes a 1. 12 take away 7 is 5. 5 take away 0 is also 5. And 3 take away 2 is 1. So the answer is 155. Okay, so everything's making sense so far. Part C, 8 lots of 65, or 8 times 65, or 65 times 8. I'm going to do this as a column multiplication, but again, there are multiple ways to work out your answer. 8 times 5 is 40, so 0, carry the 4. Okay, 6 times 8 is 48, plus the 4 is 52. So the answer is 520, guys. Okay. Part D, 138 divided by 6. Well, using the bus stop method here, guys. Okay, 6's that go into 1 is 0, I can't do that. 6's that go into 13 is 2, and the remainder is 1. 6 that goes into 18 is 3. So the answer is 23, guys. Okay, for that part there. Question number 2A, circle the cube number. So 2A, so cube number, so 27 is a cube number, okay, because if I do 3 times 3 times 3, so a cube number, I'm timesing it 3 times, okay, so the answer that I get is called a cube number. So 3 cubed, or 3 to the power of 3, or 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So this requires you to have knowledge on your cube numbers and also square numbers. Okay, so you'd start with 1 times 1 times 1, which gives you the answer of 1. Then you would do 2 times 2 times 2, which gives you 8. Okay, and then you'll just carry on here until you reach a number that is in that list. Okay, so it's not always immediately obvious, but it requires your knowledge, okay, on cube numbers. So make sure that you are happy with what cube numbers are, and even taking the cube root of a number, so working backwards. So given the answer, taking what I call the cube root, okay, so make sure that you're happy with that as well. Part B, circle the prime number. So a prime number has two factors, one in itself. That's not a prime number, that's not a prime number, that is a prime number. That's not, because the rest of the numbers have more than two factors. Okay, question number 3, complete the table. I've got fraction, decimal, percentage. So decimal to percentage, guys, I multiply by 100. Okay, so I move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So it's 25. And then I put the percent sign. Okay, and that means working backwards, 40% as a decimal, I would divide that by 100. So 40 divided by 100, okay, is 0.4. Because divided by 10, I get 4, and then divided by 10 again, I get 0.4. So imagine that it's 40.0, and that you're moving the decimal point 2 places to the right, so it goes there. So it's 0.4%, sorry, 0.4 as a decimal. Okay, next part. Okay, I think a mistake has been made here, so I think it should be 90% here and not 50%. Okay, so that's going to be 9/10, okay, as a fraction. Because 90% means 90 out of 100. Okay, a percentage means out of 100. So it's 90 out of 100, guys. Okay, and then I can simplify that by dividing the top and bottom by 10. Okay. Question number 4, part A, work out 60% of 35. Well, to work out that, I'm going to work out what 10% is. So 10% of any quantity, okay, means divide it by 10. So 35 divided by 10 is 3.5. Okay, so you hop the decimal point in. Okay, again, imagine it's 35.0, you move it 1 place to the left, the decimal point. Okay. So it's not 3.5, but 5 is equal to 10%. We need to work out what 60% is. So we're going to multiply that by 6, okay, or do it a column addition 6 times, okay. 6 5s are 30, 0, carry the 3. 6 times 3 is 18, plus the 3 is 21. So the answer is 21, guys. Okay, so this topic is looking at percentage of amounts, so make sure that you're happy with that. Always work out what 10% is. 10% of any quantity, any given quantity, means dividing that quantity by 10. And then from there, you are able to work out 1%, 5%, 50%, 25%, etc., etc. Part B, work out 4/5 of 150, so as a fraction of an amount. I divide by the denominator times by the numerator. So 150 divided by 5 is 30. And then I do 30 multiplied by 4, because 30 gives me 1/5, and I want 4/5. So I'm going to get 120, because 3 times 4 is 12, adding on the 0 makes it 120. Okay. Question number 5, part A, which one of these is a whole number? Circle the correct answer. Well, root 8 doesn't actually give me a whole number. That's actually what I call a surd. So it's not that one. Root 10 also is a surd. Root 50 is also a surd. Root 81 gives me the answer of 9, so that is the correct answer. And the square root of 125 also gives me a surd. Okay, what I mean by a surd, guys, is it gives me like a a decimal number or decimal answer that goes on forever. Okay, the square root of 81 we should know is 9, because 81 is a square number. 9 times 9, or 9 squared, or 9 to the power of 2, gives me 81. Okay, so again, this is requiring knowledge on your square numbers, so make sure that you're happy with your square and cube numbers. And again, check out relevant videos on my channel for square and cube numbers. Okay, but essentially, okay, make sure that you're happy with what square numbers are, how I get to them, and make sure that you learn your square numbers. I would say up to 15, or better yet, up to 20. Okay. Part B. Show that 2 to the power of 5 equals 5 squared plus 2 plus 5. Well, let's start with the left-hand side first. Okay, 2 to the power of 5 means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, if I said that correctly, so it's timesing 2 5 times. And I get the answer of 32. Sorry guys. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. Okay, 5 to the power of 2, so the right hand side. Okay, 5 squared means 25, so 5 squared means 5 times 5, which is 25. Okay, so it's 25 plus 2 plus 5. Okay, well, 2 plus 5 is just 7, so 25 plus the 7 is 32. Okay, therefore the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, therefore that statement is true. Okay, the left hand side I get 32, the right hand side I get 32. Okay, remember that 5 squared, okay, if we're not sure, 5 to the power of 2 means 5 times 5, guys. Okay, so make sure that you are happy with your, obviously, your times tables and your square numbers as well. So 5 times 5 is 25, guys. Okay. This is question number 6, guys. Estimate the value of 29.6 times 5.2. Well, that's approximately equal to 30 times 5. Okay, it's approximately, it's rounding each decimal to one significant figure. Okay, so 29.6 is very, very, very close to 30. 5.2 rounds down to 5. Okay, 5.2 is close to 5. 30 times 5 is 150. Now, a little disclaimer, guys, that's not the answer. However, it says estimate the value, so we are not asked or expected to work out the exact answer. If you work out the exact answer, you will receive no marks, okay, because the question explicitly says estimate. So you may be thinking, well, hang on a second, that doesn't equal that. That's true. However, it's an approximation, okay, so it's approximately equal to 30 times 5, okay. The true answer is around there. It might be slightly bigger than 150 or slightly smaller than 150, okay, depending on how many decimal places I'm out by, etc, etc. Okay, but the question says estimate, so do not work out the answer to that. Okay, question number 7, an amount is increased, or amount increases from 1600 to 2200. Work out the percentage increase. Well, I'm going to work out the difference. Okay, divide it by the original, which is 1600 or 1600, and then we multiply by 100. Okay, working this out, guys, I get 600 over 1600 times 100. Okay, now what I can do to obviously make the sum a bit easier is I can cancel down this fraction. So if I cancel this down fully, I get rid of the 2 zeros, so I get 6/16, which is equivalent to 3/8. So 3/8 times 100. Okay, I divide by the bottom times by the top. Okay, 100 divided by 8 is 12.5. 3 times 12.5 is 37.5. So it's 37.5%. Okay, for that. Okay, so here, from here to here, I simplified this fraction by dividing top and bottom by 200, okay, and then it's still, is the same sum, okay, because they are what I call equivalent fractions. I've not actually changed the sum. I've just divided top and bottom by 200, so I've just simplified that to obviously make the sum and the maths a bit easier. Okay, of course, I could do 100 divided by 1600 and then times 600, but that is obviously a bit more trickier and a bit more involved. So where possible, I like to simplify all of my answers down to their simplest form and then work out the sum. Because working out 3/8 of 100 is still fairly tricky, but it's much easier because I'm dealing with like a 1-digit number and like a 3-digit number actually, so it is not super complicated. Okay. Question number 8, guys. Which is bigger, 7 times 0.12 or 17/20? Well, let's work out 7 times 0.12. Okay. So 7 times 2 is 14. So 4 carry the 1. 1 times 7 is 7 plus the 1 is 8. And then 0 times 7 is just 0. So the answer is 0.04. Now 17/20. I'm going to put it out of 100. Okay, so I'm going to times top and bottom by 5. And then that from there, it will tell me the decimal answer, okay, because then I can work it out. Okay, so 17 times 5. So 7 times 5 is 35, so 5 carry the 3. 1 times 5 is 5 plus the 3 is 8, so it's 85 hundredths, which is 0.85 as a decimal. Okay, and that is bigger than 0.84. Okay, so the answer is 17/20 is bigger. Okay, so it's bigger by obviously 0.01, but it's still bigger, okay? 7 times 0.12 is 0.84, and 17/20 is 85 hundredths, okay? Putting it as a fraction over 100, okay? And 85 over 100 means 85 divided by 100, which is 0.85. Okay, of course, I could have used the bus stop method and just do 17 divided by 20. Okay, but I thought, again, I'd find like an alternative way to make the sum a bit easier. Because I recognised that the denominator is 20, so that's a factor of 100. So I can just put it over 100, okay, essentially. Okay, right guys, that's the end of today's video for GCSE Number Foundation. I sincerely hope you found it useful. If you did, please hit that like button, please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and lastly, please click that bell icon so you don't miss out on further and future videos. Okay, but that's it from me today guys. Thanks for watching, I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.